With the current phase of their army, Scott, with the current situation, as you mentioned, of their army, if they go to Lebanon, to southern Lebanon, what do they face against Hezbollah?
Death and destruction. Hezbollah's going to wipe them off the planet. It looks to be a bad fight. Again, we talked earlier about the Russians and Ukrainians. Just because Russia's winning doesn't mean that Ukraine can't do harm to Russia. Of course, Ukraine can. Just because I say that Hezbollah is going to win doesn't mean that Israel isn't going to do great harm to Hezbollah and Lebanon. Israel will, of course. But this is an existential fight. It's a fight that Israel will initiate with the understanding that it is all or nothing. And therefore, Hezbollah and now Lebanon has to respond with the same way. It's a war of attrition where both sides are going to be trying to achieve attritional supremacy. That's the equivalent of firepower supremacy in standard combat. If you and I are fighting, you got 15 guys, I got 15 guys, and we start opening fire on each other, in theory, if we both stand our ground and have well-aimed fire, we'll kill each other. All right. But human nature kicks in at some point in time. And one of us is going to blink first. One of us is going to say, I'm going down. I want to live. The second they do that, you're no longer threatening me with death. And now I own you. I've got firepower superiority over you. You're suppressed. If I can suppress all of you, I get firepower supremacy. That means now that I can dictate maneuver and outcomes. So Israel and Hezbollah are going to start off by pounding each other with everything they have. There will be no limits in the initial phases. It's going to be death and destruction like you've never seen before, awful, horrible. And then what will happen is somebody's going to blink. Israel's going to blink because Hezbollah isn't going to let the fight take place south of the Litani River. Hezbollah is going to take the fight into northern Israel, into the Galilee. Israel will be called upon to deliver death and destruction to Israeli towns, to Israeli villages, to kill Israeli people. It'll be the Hannibal directive writ large, which Israel can't politically sustain. So Israel will blink. Hezbollah won't blink. Hezbollah can't blink now because they have the support of all the Lebanese people. Hezbollah doesn't have to worry about the political consequences because the Lebanese people understand what's at stake here. And so Hezbollah will then have achieved firepower superiority, and then they will continue to suppress, inflict harm. Israel will not be able to respond effectively once its airfields are suppressed. That means more firepower can be brought there. The Iron Dome will be eliminated or depleted, more firepower with more precision, and Israel will rapidly devolve, and it'll be the physical destruction of Israel. That's what Israel will get if it goes to war against Hezbollah. It's simple military math. And that's what I've done with Israel and Hezbollah. So if people are out there going, how can you possibly? I'm just telling you guys right now that I have actually spent many hours laying out the force structures. I've populated it with data that is weighted to take into account experience, logistics, command and control, etc. And when I run that computer model in my head, Hezbollah wins every single time. But here's the other thing that people, that I should tell people. Israel ran 2 consecutive exercises in 2022 and 2023 where they tested a similar conflict notion. Basically, it was, what if everybody attacks Israel at once? But the main theater of operations for Israel was in northern Israel, southern Lebanon, against Hezbollah. Israel lost every time. Israelis know it too. It's just the way if you're being honest, you can't fake the data. And the data has Israel losing every single time.